everyone, and welcome to The Well-Educated Artist. I'm Miranda, and I'm so glad you found this channel. If you'll just take a minute to subscribe right below, I'd really appreciate it. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We are going to be doing a chain pull of a bird. Now if you're used to seeing me in my apron, it says Artist at Work. This is a chain pull of a hummingbird. Today we're going to be doing a chain pull of a different bird, and let's see how it goes. Okay, we're going to begin with an 11 by 14 canvas, which has been taped around the edges and ready to go. We have a custom color of pretty much a Carolina blue color. So we're going to pour that onto the canvas, and we may add some white to it. I like to add some variation so we look like we have clouds in the sky for our bird. And I may just do that. Let me go ahead and get this going. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and put down a few paper towels because this is going to get messy quickly. Okay. Let me see what this is looking like. I don't like to over mix my base either, so that it has some variation. This actually has metallic paint mixed in, so it's going to have a little bit of variation to it. Try not to pour it off on one side totally. I'm going to help it along a little bit. It's fairly thin, the coat that I have. I hate wasting paint, so I'm just going to help it move around just a little. I don't have to worry about the sides, which is fabulous. And it's actually okay if I'm running a little low because, like I said, I can add some white in. I try to just make enough that I need and not a lot more. Okay, I'm going to add just a little bit of white, and that is perfectly fine. I'm a little low on paint, but it is going to work out just fine. This is a really good way to get that feel of there being some clouds in the sky. Just take a minute to prepare. Make sure I've covered my whole canvas. Okay. Now that we have our backdrop, you can see that it kind of mimics the look of having a sky or clouds in the sky. Not real crazy about that. Okay. Shake it and get it to settle. Just hit my corner. You gotta hate it when you do that. Okay, now that we have our sky, we'll go ahead and torch. Okay. Now that we have our background just kind of mimicking the sky, we're going to go ahead and get our chain ready. Just a simple round ball chain. And we're going to choose our colors, as you can see, which will be in the description below. If you can see them on the side, are all going to be fairly muted colors for this. I don't think we're going to go for crazy neon colors or pink or anything like that. We're going to go for colors that are going to make more sense for our bird. So let's start with our wing. We're going to give an outline, and I'm actually going to start with yellow. Okay, so we're just going to put little dots of yellow. Works best so you don't have too much paint. And we're doing this in the shape of a bird's wing. This is a primary yellow, and here is the body with the tail, and then the outline on the other wing. So this is a bird in flight. And now going in and adding some Prussian blue, just little dots around the wings and the body. And you could choose whatever color that you want to choose. Here I'm going in with some brown. I believe this is a burnt umber. and just, again, little dots of color. Being careful not to add too much paint. The camera is turning just a little bit here as I add the sapphire blue. For some reason, I don't know why the camera decides it wants to go over to the side, but it does. So I'm adding the sapphire blue, and then I'm adding some black just around the edges. And finally some violet, and then some white. The white adds a good contrast between the dark and the light colors. Now this is a chain, this is a ball chain, and I am going to place it around the edge of the wing and then pull it very carefully into the center where the body is. And then I'm going to outline the second wing and also pull that in. I'm having a little bit of trouble with it, but I want to pull it toward the body where the paint is going to pull. And I'm having to do that again because I have too much blue in the background. Now I am going to pull the body from the tail up to the head, and didn't quite get the tail I wanted. It's okay, but add a little bit more paint and you can rework this. You really can rework a chain pull, and then I am just using a palette knife to smooth it out a little bit because you do get a lot of paint where you pull if you're not careful, and you might want to smooth a little bit of your paint, and use a palette knife works great for this. Trying to get the shape of the body, and adding some feathers to the top of the bird's head. Hopefully you see a bird here. And then I'm just going to be doing a little bit of fixing because I didn't get it the way I wanted it to. If you're perfect with it, you can just do a perfect pull, but trying to get these wings the way I want them, I'm having to kind of finagle it a little bit and smooth a few things out. A lot of movement, which is kind of neat. And then I'm adding a little bit of the yellow orange for a beak to kind of show that he has a head and he's flying forward. Now I'm working on a second bird that's kind of moved off. It's migrating. The birds are migrating. Here, this bird is facing the other bird, and I'm going through the same process with red. I believe this is crimson actually, and then yellow, and then a yellow-orange color, and then a more classical bright red, and then some black and brown. So just keeping it very simple. And I'm going to do the same process. This goes a little bit smoother because I understand a little bit better the way this is going to work, and you can see the feathers forming. And then I'll do the tail and the body straight to the head, and then just use the palette knife to smooth it down and get the exact look that I want to have. And so at this point now I have two birds facing each other. I'm adding a little bit of gold just for accent and kind of giving some movement in the sky. So this has been an experiment and a process. It almost looks like feathers falling there. And it's experiment process, and there you have it. Here are two dueling birds that are done in a pour painting style. If you like this video, like and subscribe, and check out more of my videos at The Well Educated Artist and thewelleducatedartist.com.